Welcome to the school of hard lessons, where the streets teach what books can't. Doxing and taking people channel, but you're gonna pay. This avatar's always talking shit and doxing people. Walk through the door when the lights goddamn. Everybody wearing masks, everybody playing pretend. Fake degrees hanging on fake walls. Everybody talking big, but nobody stands tall. This ain't a classroom, this a battlefield, where you find out what's fake and what's real. They teach you lies, they teach you games, but the streets remember every name.
Dani Robertson, doxing and taking people channel, but you're gon' pay.
This avatar
is always talking shit and doxing people.
Dumb bitch.
University,
a character in the story, a face in the scene, but every empire ain't always what it seems. The truth don't need a microphone on stage. It waits patiently while time turns the page.
DBU, this avatar is always talking shit and doxing people.
Dumb bitch,
University,
they gave y'all
dumb ass up. Welcome to the school
where the first lesson is:
don't be nobody's fool. You can wear a crown, you can act brand new, but the truth always comes breaking through. BBU, doxing and taking people channel, but it don't pay.
This avatar
is always talking shit and doxing people.
Dani Robertson, they gave your dumb ass up. Hear that sound? When the fake falls apart and the real stands ground.
No more smoke, no more disguise.
The lesson is written
right before your eyes.
They gave ya dumb ass up. I came from the struggle, I came from the pain. Had to learn every lesson walking through rain. No shortcut road, no easy way. Had to build my future day by day.
They wanted a story, they wanted a show, but they never knew the strength I grow. Every setback became my degree, every scar became a part of Robertson. Doxing and taking people's channel, but you're gonna pay.
They gave your dumb ass up.
This avatar is always talking shit and doxing people.
I don't need applause, I don't need fame. I earn my respect by staying in my lane. The streets got wisdom that money can't buy. Real ones recognize real when they walk by.
Dumb bitch University, doxing and taking people channel, but you're gonna pay.
They gave your dumb ass up. Class dismissed.
Dumb bitch University, the truth is the teacher, time is the test,
character is the grade.
Dumb bitch University, doxing and taking people channel, but you're gonna pay.
They gave your dumb ass up.
This avatar is always talking shit and doxing people.
DBU, the lesson is clear.
The strongest survive
when the pressure is near. No fake titles,
no borrowed pride.
Real ones stand
when the waves get high.
DBU, remember the sound.
The truth rises up
when the lies fall down. The story changes,
the chapter moves. The only thing that matters is what you prove. Dumb bitch University,
they gave your dumb ass up.
Class over, a lesson learned. Ooh.
Dumb bitch.
Dumb bitch University. Dumb bitch University.
Dumb bitch.
Dumb bitch University.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised.
What is in your life's blueprint?
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? You know something? When my ugly face look better than the average YouTuber, you know something's crazy and wrong. That's why I be acting a fool out here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all so much. How y'all doing? I feel really good. Kind of upset because my hair still is not done. My stylist, I don't know what's going on with her, you know, but yeah. And then I'm also going to be doing some stuff for Streaming University, which starts today. So I'm going to be picking up my equipment and going down to the homie's place and trying to figure out how all of this is going to work out. God damn. Anyways, what's up, everybody? What's up? It's your boy. Did not like the video, subscribe to the channel. Good morning. Good morning. Shout out to Lucky's commentary. Now, I will say, just, you know, FYI, Lucky's commentary was in Kimmy Love's chat yesterday. And while we was sitting on the platform talking about, you know, the court filings and not actually looking at them, Lucky's commentary was looking at them. And Lucky apparently said in the Kimmy's chat, and I verified it on Lucky's community wall, Lucky was the first person to point out that Dani Robertson is using ChatGPT to write these motions. I mean, we all knew it, but the simple fact that we had, you know, a literal in your face use this stronger or shorter sentence right here, what ChatGPT was like guiding her, which tells us that she didn't go back and actually like read any of that, but she expected the court to read it. She's just typing it up, going crazy in ChatGPT. I told you, she was listening to Kimmy. She was typing in ChatGPT. I don't know what type of software or whatever she's claiming to have. She's claiming she's spending all of this money to transcribe videos and stuff in real time. I don't know if she has to wait or she has some type of software that does it in real time. Either way, it's cheap. Like, you ain't got no fucking value. You are a fraud. And I dare not call you broke because the people that hate me will hurry up and rush over to send you money to try to make me feel a type of way. I guess you're not broke. I mean, you're the one who's still going on and on talking about filing motions and filing a contempt of court because money on the line. Girl, you sent that court $10,000 in their registry. They don't care what you're talking about. They're not going to deduct not one red cent from Kimmy Love's goddamn money, okay? They're not going to deduct one red cent to give back to you. Why you over there hooping and hollering? People are putting things into perspective. People are questioning, hey, if this person is capable of identity theft and identity fraud, why would I send them my cash out? Why would I send them a Zelle? Why would I give them any information about me that they can then turn around and steal my ID? So not only is the cash apps drying up, but the super chat, super sticker is drying up too. You know something off when ain't nobody, when Lady T, your number one supporter, when she coming over there spending her little last bit saying she's at orientation. Newsflash, Lady T, just like when I was in acting class and arguing with you niggas online, that energy translates in your real life. So them white folks ain't playing with you. You ain't gonna have no job. And stop sitting up here spending all of your money. They don't care if you apologize 1,000 times. They just using you for content. You know how they say black women don't like each other? Lady T is a clear example of that, okay? The nigga done stole your heart, broke a computer, and letting his black female supporters sit up there and drag you for filth while he enriches himself and you can't even focus on orientation. Dumbass. They get your dumbass up. Lady T is like a bed bug or a tick. No matter how many cans of Raid you spray on that bitch, she's just gonna keep on crawling back, leaving eggs, roach eggs, and shit all over the place. So I'm immune to that dis-ease. Yes, indeed. I'm immune to that dis-ease. And I do know one thing, man or woman, the shit that y'all said about me and say about me online, you will not have that same energy in real life. And at this point in time, people want to play with me. I'm looking for anyone who wants anyone in LA that's played with me. You know, I don't go out and look for trouble, even if like it's a mutual comeback. I really have to have a reason. But if anybody got a problem with me, I am open for a mutual comeback. I'm always open for a mutual combat. And when you see me, if you see me and you're not making that clear, my energy is going to make that clear. My energy alone would tell you don't play that fucking shit and you niggas will go run to the courthouse putting fake restraining orders on people. And speaking of that, they say that I owe somebody $40,000. Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for people to try to collect. Dani, with your dumb ass, you thinking that you can file documents post-judgment while appeal is pending and you can just pad that up underneath the appeal? No. it calls for a separate appeal. You file a motion for contempt and they deny it. You just cannot add that to your appeal. You're going to have to file a separate appeal. And that's why I'm waiting for somebody to go to the court to figure out if I owe them money and see what, because it's going to cause for a separate appeal. You got one pending appeal in a case and you got a separate appeal. Okay. Have you ever heard of multiple appeals in one case? That's how that goes. So Dani, if you think you're going to file a motion for contempt against Kimmy Love and they deny it, and you're going to just pad that up underneath your appeal, it's open and brief. That's not feasible. That's not legal. You don't even know the law. But I want you to come and try to sue me so I can countersue you and teach you how to actually do this. I'm not going to be on court-approved forms. I'm going to follow what lawyers do. I'm going to have a table of content, a table of authority, bookmarks and shit, especially if you got 1,999 pages filed in the court. No motherfucking bookmarks. Like, do you even know how to do a bookmark? I thought you had a college degree and been in college for years. You don't know how to do a bookmark, even on court-approved forms. You're not putting any bookmarks. And think these people supposed to go one by one, page by page, all these long-ass transcripts. Why you didn't ask ChatGPT to give you the right time codes and to summarize it that go along with your situation? You probably would have not had 999 pages and probably like 120 if you'd have did that, because ain't nobody reading that shit. No bookmarks, no table of authorities, no proper citation, no legal jargon, nothing but a whole bunch of YouTube games and crimes. $10,000 on the line, girl. You can count that out. Scraping for coins, peanuts, pennies, and motherfucking in Kimmy Love purse. At this time, I feel like you in her puss too. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Lucky's commentary for being first to point out that, you know, the robot bot been using ChatGPT. Okay, there you have it. Ain't nobody trying to steal your little credit or whatever, Lucky's commentary. But Kimmy Love told you to hit her link. Had you hit the link, then you would have had that authority. But see, I'm not a hater and I am a truth teller, okay? And I like to troll people, okay? I like to troll people. And sometimes my way of trolling people is like, you know, you can't put a copyright on something. So if I say the official king did not, that's a troll. I don't need to be the official or whatever. That doesn't mean I'm not creative. Like, check my resume, check my producer resume, check my flow of content, right? They so hateful that I look better than them, that I'm more talented than them, to where they would call me a psycho because I'm standing up, dancing around, having a good time, taking my shirt, doing whatever I want to do. Okay? There's nothing new under the sun. So obviously, sometimes your form of creativity might actually overlap people. I mean, actual copying and following behind people is what Dani Robertson do. Okay, with the Nightbot, that's me. With the surveys, have you thumbs up this video? Yes or no? Whatever variation, they all copied it off of me. The music, they copied it off of me. You have no rhetoric by yourself. I even literally seen Dani Robertson repeating some bullshit that Perry and Sherelle said about me and other people, acting like it's her content. And don't worry, Dani. We know you're struggling and know that you finna get out of Dodge talking about starting your own network or doing whatever, and you got the archive content that you did about us and whoever. Go right ahead and republish that, because then you're gonna pretty much republish it and give people that you harassed 6 years ago, 3 years ago, or whatever crime you committed in your harassment and your revenge corn and stuff. If you republish that, no matter where you go, I guess you can call me an avenger, because I'm gonna keep eyes on you like you keep eyes on everything else. And if you republish that, those are fresh rounds of criminal acts that you will go down for. Thank you, boo. So you ain't got to worry. Go ahead and charge whatever you want to charge. I'm gonna be back there on a burner watching you and watching what the fuck you got to say and what you're publishing and producing, to go ahead and report that to the law authority. Anyways, good morning. Shout out to Lucky. Shout out to Taylor Injury. What's up, Key? Do you love me? I sang. How is my niece, Kiki? How's she doing? I hope she laughing, kicking her little legs and stuff. Yes, indeed. And, you know, rest in peace to your father. We had a brief conversation about that. Don't think that I forgot, or don't think that my vagueness of like addressing it means that I don't care. I'm very sensitive. You guys know I'm a Cancer. I'm a crybaby. I'm a crybaby, but at the end of the day, bitch, you fuck with me, you're gonna figure out, nigga, I'm the male version of Tasiki. I will eat you. So anybody wants an open invitation to fight, that's cool. Besides 82, okay? You know, I know you struggling to accept my apology, but your behavior, your action, and your energy has changed since I apologized to you. So you can go out there and say you don't accept it and all this other stuff. I know you accept it because your energy towards me changed. I'm very, very big on energy. I don't pay attention to what people are saying. I look at their energy, I look at their body language, all this other stuff. And the brother accept my apology. Even though he says fake, he accepted, child. Leave She Paints alone. Please leave that lady alone. Let her go off and figure her own shit out. That's why I'm not disrespecting her. That lady helped you out. Well, she claims she helped you out, but it was at my expense of harassing me. Okay, live, let go, and forget and move on. That's what I'm doing. And when I live, let go, and forget, then I literally act like these people don't exist. And I know that might be sounding cold, but that's for the protection of me and them. So leave that lady alone, 82. Leave her alone, okay? And you is not gonna beat me up. You cannot beat me up. And I'm not open to accepting no physical challenge with you because there will not be no touching or feeling over here, 82, okay? So if you want the internet to believe you can beat me up, go and pick another fighter. Go and get Sean David Wade or King Payne or somebody, and then, you know, you can judge if you can beat me up based on the cartoon knots that I put on them bitches for fucking with me for years, okay? There will be no touching the feeling. But thank you for changing your energy. I appreciate that. Okay, you guys hear this song that I'm playing about Dani Robertson? Well, Storm Radio created it. Let me be very crystal clear. Storm Radio created him, right? Around the time that Storm Radio went through whatever he went through, and you guys know, especially if you guys watched Messy Mondays, how Aunt Val, she went through her trials and tribulations on YouTube, and it was going on for like a month or two, and I had no clue about any of it, and I just didn't know because I wasn't paying attention. I don't know what month and what time that was happening, but I guarantee you when that was happening, I was talking about something else and had a viral attraction to that, and I was locked and loaded in that. So there's times to where, you know, Black T Sector, Home Base, but then when I'm going viral for talking about Diddy, Naziah Harris, Mahogany Jackson, I lock in on that, and I'm not paying attention to anything over in the Black T Sector during those times, okay? So with Storm Radio, he went super viral for talking about the death of Angie Stone. And Angie Stone died in March 2025. And then he was going viral. He was talking about that for a while. And then suddenly, I think he got doxxed or whatever. I don't know the context of everything. I just know that he was going through his own trials and tribulations. I had nothing to do with that, didn't talk about it, and I still don't want to know the full scope of what happened. So that happened, I believe, in April 2025. I don't know exactly, but I know Angie Stone died in March, and then like a month later, he was doxxed or whatever. So in April 2025, if you guys do the math, I mean, I know my channel is not here that can prove what I'm saying, but in April 2025 is when Naziah Harris preliminary hearing happened, and I was all over that. Okay, I was on two channels, and on two channels, one channel I had 1,000 people in the chat, the other channel I had 700-800, and I was on two channels, ratchet shit in my main channel, and that's what I was focused on, nothing more and nothing less. And when I logged out, I was doing research about that. I was not arguing with the Black T-Check. I don't like, why would I watch Dani do to somebody else that she did to me? That's disgusting, deplorable behavior. So especially with her leading the charge against Storm Radio, I was not paying attention to any of that. The only time I pay attention to Dani, used to, was to see what she's saying about me. And also, you know, when I learned how to report, I'm still gonna report you. And I reported you last night for the video that you did, okay? Because that's how you play, and I'm gonna get on the same level as you. So long story short, you know, I don't know what happened to Storm Radio, and people are giving me fragmented statements and stuff. And I'm not a bird. I'm not a follower. I think there's two sides to a story. Dani Robertson like to bring up court documents and say this and don't give a people the chance to defend themselves. I'm not finna contact Storm about anything. I don't care. Okay. And even if it's true about him which I don't care, and it's not my motherfucking business. I don't have a platform that exploits people's personal life and lead with that. I don't do that. Those are doxers and cyberstalkers, and usually that they're jealous of people. That's why he was doxxed when he was leading the Angie Stone narrative. I was not a part of any of that, and if what other people said about him is true, that's not my business. I know in my real life that I got people in my real life that I don't tell about YouTube, and I got no people from YouTube that will never cross into my real life or get any tea about me. Just go ask She Paints. So with that said, the song that I played at the beginning is a bop, okay? And, you know, basically, you know, they're saying that Storm Radio has some R. Kelly allegations. Well, guess what? People are still listening to R. Kelly. And also, even if you don't want to directly listen to R. Kelly, you listen to Ciara, B2K, Lady Gaga, and tens of artists. You don't even know that R. Kelly is the one who made those records, who wrote those records, and his estate and the people in charge of him are getting residuals off of that. So rather you're listening to his voice or listening to him create something, you're still consuming R. Kelly. And there's a lot of people that say they don't care what R. Kelly did. They're going to focus on the talent. There's a lot of people that says they don't care about Nicki Minaj's political views. They're going to focus on the talent. And I'm one of them when it comes to Nicki Minaj. So when I play this track about Storm Radio, when I play this track that Storm Radio created, that does not mean that I co-sign anything in his past. That does not mean that I'm desensitized and I don't care about black women or whatever these losers like a Mr. Nobody would do to try to attach himself to me, to try to discredit me and to pull clout off of me. Mr. Nobody, you was nobody before I came on here. You was nobody when I was popping and had these big old views, and you're still nobody to this day, okay? So we're definitely going to keep on playing the Dani Robertson song because it's a bop, regardless who created it and what y'all think about the person that created it, okay? And no, I did not play that intentionally on somebody's channel to traumatize and re-trigger them. And that brings me to the next point. Some of these people are crackhead children, literally. Ralph is a crack baby, and you can tell by the way he processes information and how he's so adamant on being right instead of taking time to stop, think, and listen. This is why your life in the position that it is, okay? I don't even know the full scope of what he was doxxed about or anything. I just heard wind of it, and that's it. I don't know the full scope of it. But obviously, you're in pain about it, and obviously, you want your lick back like a lot of people off of Dani. So I would not be entertaining Ralph. I would not be covering him. I would not be talking about him because he's one of them people that I have offered and extended a mutual combat to. Don't play with me. And if I have to make an example out of you so everybody know don't fucking play with me, that's what I would do. So yeah, what's up? What's up, Dunn? Good morning, Dunn Thomas. Good morning, Netta B. Good morning, good morning. Good afternoon to the other people over there on the East Coast. Good morning. What's up, Deanna? Because they can't do any of that, period. Look at my ugly face. It still look better than these nigga. My ugly face turned up and everything. You mad. You mad because you can't do what I do. You mad because you can't even put on the ugly face because you ugly naturally, B. Okay, so I'm not finna tongue wrestle with these people. If I address somebody, they have done something to harm me, and guess what? I'm actually over it, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to put you in your place and let you know how much of a piece of shit that you are, okay? Also, I want people to know that, you know, I'm very passionate about everything that I do. Here's the analytics of this particular channel. You see how it says channels your audience watched last 28 days and all this other stuff. This channel is not indexed, okay? Because once I index for Dani Robertson name, I probably put all the videos on members only, and it's gonna take me out of that algorithm, and it's not gonna have a channel analytics or audience analytics for quite some time. So I'm not getting the benefit of the browse feature at all. All the views that I get, 500 and 600 views or whatever, that is coming from notification and YouTube searching my name and people looking for me. How organic can it get? So, you know, I don't have the benefit of the browse feature right now. When will it convert and YouTube will give me the browse feature for this channel? I don't know, but I do know once that happens, you guys will see the views go up. Additionally, even without the browse feature, people in the Christian rock sector love me to talk about Christian. Okay, if I put up a video about Christian, it's gonna get 3,000-4,000 views. Yes, indeed. It's going to get more views than I have subscribers on this channel. But I personally don't feel like talking about Christian. Right now, I personally don't. I do what I want to do. Okay? I'm not an ambulance chaser. I'm not an algorithm chaser. I do what I want to do, because if I was worried about maintaining thousands of clicks and views daily, I would talk about Christian rock daily. And then it would index me into that algorithm, and I would be there because I'm a staple there. Like I'm a staple in other different sectors. I can talk about Cardi B and what she just did and how she took up for Stephon Diggs. People that remember I threw that pen at her are going to tune into my TikTok. They're going to tune into wherever I went viral, and my name is attached to that. That's what they're going to do. So y'all don't have no boots on the ground experience or relevancy, okay? A lot of people in the Black T sector is just sitting down talking about each other all motherfucking day. I can do that too. And I will do that until a channel indexes or I pop off on a platform and go crazy viral. I mean, we're going to talk about and laugh and gag Dani Robertson. Then we're going to talk about what's going on in Nolan Wells case while we simultaneously record that, and I upload it to Facebook and probably get 40,000 views off of that video monetized, while it looks like I didn't get no views on YouTube. Okay, don't play with me. So yeah, what's up? Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, okay? They up out here begging. And so without further ado, let's get to the biggest motherfucking e-grifter of Dani Robertson. They gave your dumb ass up. So first of all, she created a whole video, you know, and going crazy, acting like she's in the right, acting like the judges didn't get it right, acting like she still has a fighting chance to do all of this stuff, and taunting Kimmy Love, saying, oh, what are you gonna do? My appeal opening brief got pushed back to September, and then this, and that leads us to 2027. What you gonna do? What you gonna talk about? You ain't gonna release this information, girl. Why would you taunt her? Why would you taunt her while simultaneously saying that you're gonna file a motion for contempt? And the only reason Kimmy Love did not put the information that Google gave her out onto Pacer is because the judge summarily denied all of your 1,999 pages, and Kimmy didn't even have an opportunity to respond. So if you filed a motion for contempt and it calls for Kimmy Love to respond, and she has seen you and we have seen you taunt her and say that she don't have no real information and say she can't release any of that, well, when you file that motion of contempt and it calls for Kimmy Love to respond, which I do believe it will call for a response, then Kimmy Love is going to have to compel what Google gave her, and on top of that, she's going to have to show the date of service and prove her point. And she told you she's going to put it in public record. So like, are you talking about people celebrating too early? Ma'am, you literally are a dumbass, okay? If you file a motion for contempt of court and basically violation of the state, thinking that them people at that courthouse is gonna take some pennies off of Kimmy Love, $10,000. Like, Kimmy Love, that's a bad bitch, okay? At this point, that's a bad bitch. And I don't give a fuck how you think she look or whatever. That is a bad bitch, because not only do she got money in the bank from the cash apps and Google AdSense, Super Chat, and everything that you were prayer about her getting, she got money in the court waiting for her. And you ain't getting a dime while you over there lying. And I believe your broke ass went to Linden Tree and got a $10,000 loan and said, I'm going to pay it back because I'm going to beat this. Listen, just like a prayer. No, you living on a prayer, bitch. Get up out of here, okay? So let's get here and point out the hypocrisy and the contradictions, okay? Dani Robertson said, if you're a YouTuber, you know the receipts cost money. Even you do online. It's like you're logging in. StreamYard costs money. Things cost money. So shout out to all the members that are paying these monthly fees so y'all can get these receipts and others things as well. So the public should be happy that there is a members. Now, I know that some of y'all out there, you want everything to be public, but that's not going to yada, 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 yada. Let me get to this point. So basically, she's gassing up memberships. She's in her feelings, and Lady T revealed that she was in your feelings because see, she has direct access to you, and she's the Messiah. So it ain't gonna be too long before she dropped them receipts on you. She went on Lady Letitia channel and admitted that you're in pain and that you're hurting. So now your pockets is hurting, and now you feel like you're being silenced, and you want to cry, and you don't want us to hear that you need some WD-40 because you're malfunctioning, and you want to go behind a paywall to feed these people these motherfucking lies. Okay, you broke. Okay, your lending tree, $10,000, whoever you got it from, wherever you got it from, you ain't balling like that. You begging for people to support, begging for, and I'm going to get me a membership too, Danny, behind your paywall, because I'm going to be back there reporting the same way you sent Polly Want a Cracker to do me, in the same way you keep on republishing defamation and criminal things. I'm going to be taking notes, downloading, screenshotting, all that other stuff that you do, because when your name do drop, bitch, you going to jail. But my whole point is, she said, where is it? So I hope everybody understands. No, for memberships. Who is this? Hold on, somebody calling the hotline. Hello, who am I speaking with? Hello? Hello? Okay, stop playing me in the back when y'all call. Anyways, I cannot produce or not deliver on it, so that is being fulfilled. Yada 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 yada. Membership. She specifically says something about people. People being jealous because she makes money on YouTube, and that they're watching her pockets, and that we are fans. And all that other stuff. I know you want me to go ahead and play that little lullaby music so you can put a strike. I'm good on it, okay? So she went to start promoting that she needs some money because she broke out here, and that she didn't struck up pennies and went to Linden Tree so that she can put $10,000 in front of the federal court for Kimmy Love so that her identification behind these channels would not be revealed. I don't understand how on one hand you were so scared of your identity being revealed behind these channels, but then on the other hand, you're saying that it's fake information. So why would you sacrifice $10,000 to protect fake information? So clearly you're scared of something. She went on, I'm trying to say, where is it? She went on and said that people are pocket watching her and scared and mad because she makes money and nobody else makes money like her, and basically said that we're jealous because of her money and pocket watching her. Okay, so let's prove her to be a liar and an oxymoron, right? Because you guys, you can guys go and listen to it, but she'll try to put a strike on it, but you guys get the point, how she's always saying people are jealous and making up every excuse for why people are, doing what they do to her. And right here, as you guys can see, where ChatGPT told on her, and ChatGPT told her use this Titan version, okay? They say, I don't know if that version tighter than your twat or whatever. That's not tight at all. ChatGPT can only be programmed based on your level of intellect, and you are dumb as fuck because you didn't even go back and read this shit, and ChatGPT told you use this Titan version. Danny, do you want me to teach you how to do a bookmark or something? Because that's what real attorneys got to do. Just because you on court-approved forms don't mean that you get to run amok and get to spew your ignorance all over the place, and for ChatGPT to tell you to use this Titan version, okay? So you saying people are jealous and pocket watching you, you're deflecting and you're projecting your own insecurities onto people. So she was all up in Kimmy Love's video. Every dollar that y'all send me, send Kimmy Love, or say anybody that's talking about her is gonna drive her crazy. It just one membership. She want We the People memberships. She feel like that belongs to her. But then again, she tried to say that I was jealous and pocket watching her simply because you was making money off of me, and can't nobody make no money off of you, bitch. Counting Kimmy Love's super chats, $99.99, $50, $49.99, $20, $19.99, $5, $4.99, and even said that she needed an accounting for how much money Kimmy Love made. on Cash App and everything. Mind you, she don't want to give up her identity through Cash App. She don't want to give up that information to nobody, but you are trying to file a motion to hold Kimmy Love in contempt because Google sold you out. They gave your dumb ass up, not her, okay? So, and you actually stated that people was jealous and pocket watching you within the first 3 minutes of your video. And I'm the type of person to where I don't care who you are. Okay, if you go live and you say some misinformation within, if it take you 20 minutes to say it, that's what I'm gonna hone in on and call you out. But ma'am, you stated that people was jealous and pocket watching you while simultaneously begging for memberships within the first 3.5 minutes of your live stream. So everybody that watched it, seen that replay game, everybody seen that. And now I'm stuck on the fact that you're saying people pocket watching you when you put in black and white, pocket watching Kimmy Love is what you did. Pocket watching her. You even took screenshots, watching in real time what was going on with her, okay? We're winding it, screenshotting all the money that she have, watching this woman's chat, watching this woman's pocketbook, diving in her puss. Like, what are you talking about? Ma'am, you are a hypocrite. So why would anybody believe anything that you got to say when you complain on YouTube that people are pocket watching you and you put in black and white that you are pocket watching other people? Okay, so again, you claim that you want to file a motion for contempt or filing defamation charges and criminal charges against people because they say that you're a criminal and lying. Ma'am, you posted on your community wall, just to ease everyone's concern, my real name, phone number, and address are not attached to the Google subscriber information at issue. So that person information was not obtained through those records. The larger issue is that files were accessed through a court order. Stay was already in place. I am addressing that through the proper legal process and seeking appropriate relief from the court, yada, 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 okay? Is it going to take you 999 pages, or is you just going to go ahead and refile everything that you did because you're delusional and just put in the title, in the caption, this is the motion to hold her in contempt, and repeat everything that you said, okay? You are a pro se litigant, okay, in federal court. In federal court, where they do the pro se litigants, if they wanted to show you favoritism, they would have liberally construed, okay, and research that. They would have liberally construed everything that you said in those court records to mean that you meant to file a motion to hold Kimmy Love in contempt. That's what they would have did, liberally construed it. That's what they do when you file these documents and you really don't know what you're doing. So I don't know what you're sitting over there trying to make these people believe, but when the court denied you and said that the proper vehicle is to file a motion for contempt, I'm more than likely assure you that she's going to file a duplicate filing and just pretty much change the caption at the top to say this is a motion for contempt. They already denied it. They already said they're not going to read it. But at the end of the day, if you do file a motion for contempt, I want to give you a clue as to what's going to happen next. You file a motion for contempt because the court said the recently filed emergency motions involving purported harm to defendant from release of information plaintiff allegedly obtained through Google. They're saying plaintiff allegedly obtained it, even though I believe these judges definitely told Google to give up that information. But just by way saying allegedly, they're pretending that they don't know what you're talking about and they haven't seen any of this information. And when you start complaining about Google giving up Kimmy this information and they're saying allegedly, that means that you're going to have to provide concrete proof, clear and convincing evidence that Google did this. And the only person that can actually offer clear and convincing evidence that Google sent these documents to Kimmy is Kimmy herself. You can't take a screenshot that's blurry and that's far back and say this is what it is. And this, they need the original document. They need that. And only Kimmy can provide that. So when you take your ass over to that fucking court and file a motion for contempt and keep on bringing up what Google gave to Kimmy, you're bird calling Kimmy to show the court. And the court also sent Kimmy a signal to say, allegedly, whatever you obtained from Google, I don't know. We need to see too. And then it goes in public record. And what are you gonna say? This is malicious, and she said that she was gonna do it, and she did it. It's called litigation. It's called First Amendment right. It's called litigation. She has the absolute right to put that information before the court. And you cannot sue her for putting that information before the court because that information was given from a proper subpoena. And your issue is with Google. And the court also gave you another indication. The defendant wishes to assert claims against plaintiff. She may do so in a separately filed lawsuit. So they're directing you that if you got an issue with Kimmy receiving that, this case is not going to hold Google accountable for Google compelling a subpoena. You got to go after Kimmy Love in Google in a separate lawsuit. And see, unlike you who don't know the law, I actually prevail against Google. Okay, so ma'am, you over there crying with that WD-40, spray your ass and hooping and hollering, being delusional, thinking that these white folks is finna go in their registry and take any red cent from Kimmy bag. Kimmy is just chilling. She's happy. She's finna make more money on YouTube just by chilling. And just by dangling what Google did over your motherfucking head. But see, you're so impulsive. You cannot stand the fact that Kimmy has that power over you. While you sitting up that line talking about you taking a break and going on a vacation. Dani, bitch, you don't have no motherfucking life at all. You're the only one who consistently has been going live almost every day, 4 years, for 6-7 hours a day. Like it's a shift. And you supposed to make me believe that you got an actual life outside of YouTube. No, you're doing pandemic numbers. Like you're scared to go outside. And Kimmy Love is being socially responsible because you really gonna be scared to go outside if she released them receipts. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Here for it said, how dumb can be to not pre-read ChatGPT? I'm trying to tell you, that is so crazy. Deanna said she living in her YouTube delusion and nothing, girl, nothing. Okay, nothing. The only thing you have is doxing people and putting out misinformation on top of facts. For instance, like, oh, he hit Sheriff. She's high. He beat this white woman. But you was not interested in bringing up what I said in opposition to that. I mean, I had enough respect to bring up your court documents and your court filings to show how incompetent and dumb your motherfucking ass is. I just didn't bring up the judge's order on the ruling of your documents or what Kimmy said. I did all of that. I did you a favor to show everybody how dumb and slow you are. You didn't do me a favor to show how I actually filed an opposition and said this woman is lying on me and harassing me and trying to do something. And then not only that, you didn't even show that the judge said dismissed with prejudice, which means that white lady that you wanted everybody to think that I beat filed a fake ass restraining order against me. The temporary wasn't granted and the permanent was denied. That's what you're, so you can't sit up here and play these games and these semantics. You are malicious. You are not, you are biased, and that's what you do. You're not a truth teller. You're not even a content creator. You destroy people is what you do. I would never consider you be a content creator. And for Sean and to be on Messy Monday and Dani, and she's gonna take a vacation. And then for you to go live and then, oh yeah, I'm taking a break and a vacation. Yeah, you're exposed that y'all have behind the scene conversations. And again, when Lady T was up there on Lady Letitia panel and said, oh, he's gonna write the judge and he said this and she's in pain. You got to pay attention to a goof troop like Lady T. She's in pain and she's down and out. Lady T told us you're really affected by this. So go and get the motherfucking butter knives, them Montana, whoever the fuck that you want to be, and yell and scream and display your mental illness online. We know you in pain. Okay, so Mr. Illegal EEZ, yeah, you're in pain, ma'am. Nobody is falling for that. Nobody cares. Okay, nobody cares. How he claim he been on YouTube for years and he only getting this many views? Sir, ma'am, Storm Monroe got about 400,000 followers and can't crack 2,000 views. That's what I'm saying. With all these followers, where are you going with them? I done said it a long time ago, even when I had my big channel. I don't give a fuck about 60, 70, 100,000, 300,000 subscribers if every one of them ain't sending me $1 every single month. Where the fuck we going with these followers? And thank you for your little 2 cents for the ad revenue. That counts up sometimes too. But really and truthfully, you worry about what's going on over here on a platform that's not indexed. A lot of y'all would have given up if you was on a platform that's not indexed and you can't get views how you got back in the day or on another Like, I don't care about none of that. That's never going to affect my quality. It's never going to affect whether or not I tell the truth. The only difference right now, obviously, your name is in the chat. And excuse me, your name is in the title. And I don't mind affiliating with the Black Tea sector simply because the platform is not indexed and I'm not going viral for something trending and something that I can grab hold to and continue to get clicks and views, because when that happened, you know, I act like I don't know you niggas. I mean, come on, let's be clear. And to keep bringing up my past is my past for a reason. At the end of the day, I'm still here. Lady, to your criminal record, you have felonies on your record. You got to take blue-collar jobs that they don't even want you on while you worried about what I did and my attitude. Yes, I'm here to tell you. I'm still taking anger management classes. I've said it before, months ago, and I'm going to continue to say it. Anger management is one of the best things that I've ever did for my life. Looking back, if I would have took it in grade school, my life would have been different. If I would have took it before I came to Hollywood, my life would have been different. I would have been playing the game. Okay, my attitude was like, fuck this, I'm real. I ain't finna play this game. Fuck all of this. There's a game that's being played, whether you like it or not. And that game is going to continue to be played out in society when your ass is in the ground and my black ass is in the ground. So why not? If you can't beat it, join it. So y'all don't like the fact that now that I'm taking these anger management classes, it's sharpening me. And I know how to play this game better than y'all. And it don't matter what you say, psycho in a straight jacket, whatever you convince these people to believe about me to dissuade them from realizing that I'm so much better than you. I'm not finna argue with no motherfucking punks and sissies, okay? Sean David Way with your big, tall, 6'4", big ass nigga. You big just like 82, but you want to call him fat just because you got a little small ass head. And sit down with these motherfucking Thriller jackets on looking like Lamar from Revenge. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and show y'all who Sean David Way is. I like to holler when Red Label said he came up in him singing Michael Jackson with that big ass burnt gap in your mouth that took 6 years to close. Child, let me see. Revenge of the Nerds talent show. So whenever you want to come outside, Sean, you can come outside. And I'm going to play with you the worst way. When your brother go to trial, I'm going to be there reporting on the news. Okay? That's what I'm going to do, Mr. Revenge of the Nerds. See, you just like Dani Robertson. If they ever make a female version or include a goofy bitch, she will be right up here on this talent show looking just like you with your ugly ass. Yes, Sean, if they ever remake Revenge, listen, if they ever remake Revenge of the Nerd, this is the role for you, honey. This is the role for you, and it is an insult. It's not even a backhanded compliment, bitch. I'll be insulted. You look like this nigga, your original burnt gap. Look, you look. Listen, bitch, I will drop dead right now if he don't look like this nigga. Watch this.
Clap your hands, everybody, and everybody clap your hands.
Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you understand that Sean look like it. Put one in the chat. Press one. Press. It did look like Sean David. Put some goats in the chat if this is this nigga. Bitch ass motherfucker.
Clap your hands. We land. Oh, make a move. And we've come here on stage tonight to do a show for you. We got a rockin' rhythm and a high-tech sound that'll make you move your body down to the ground. We got Poindexter on the violin, and Lewis and Gilbert will be joining in. We got Booger Presley on the mean guitar, and a rap by little old me, Lamar. We got Takashi beating on his gong. The boys and the moves are clapping along. And just when you thought you seen it all, along comes a lambda 4 foot tall. So won't you come on out here on the floor so we can work our bodies like never before?
And this the little white boy that he with. Lady T exposed that he pushing 40 and with a 22-year-old white boy that he get high. Then stole that white boy from his son that had to move out his house. In the Ta squad over there, bitch. The Ta squad, the biracial Ta squad. And they say little Miss Zendaya finna turn 18 on Martin Luther King Jr. They don't let her be in the hood. Choo, 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 choo. Come and ride that train. Stole that little white boy from your son. Sitting up there acting like, oh, I'm my son. And then you looking at and learning and jealous of your own son, bitch. You got a nerve to talk about trees, bitch. You jealous of your own son. Your son brought a white boy home that's out of your league. And then you decided to get that boy high and hooked him on drugs. And now all of a sudden that's your boyfriend, you crackhead ass nigga. And he swear he doing it up. I'm through. Well, never. Bye. Y'all in a geek, a nerd, a bullshit, a scam artist come through here and play with a real nigga like me. Fuck all y'all. Give a fuck about none of that. And y'all like to say I hate black women and what I did. How about he over there he's still exploiting Lady T with her crazy ass. The nigga don't care if you apologize 1,000 times just like I did. He's still over there exploiting you and he's making money off of you, okay? All the black women that don't like you and they get their shit off because they get to show their anti-black woman is through you and you light skin and most of them dark skin and big backs and shit like that. Is you crazy? Them hoes is tagging you and paying him to do it, okay? And I'm glad you up off from over here. Fuck wrong with you? At least I had enough decency not to exploit you. At all. He playing you, girl. Okay, he letting them big back ass, ugly ass, undesirable bitches just like you with dark skin and are colorists that wish that they had the same skin color as you, come up there and attack you and they're paying him because they feel a little bit better. That's the only reason why you over there on coffee, okay, with no sugar. That's the only reason why you up here hooping and I apologize. It's too late to apologize. Somebody said, damn, I haven't seen that movie in forever. Pixie does. Tell me that bitch don't look just like him. Tell me he don't. Okay? A sellout ass nigga, undesirable ass nigga do anything to be close to white adjacency. Just to act like you fit in. That's why you was over there screwing on Gilbert Great Mama and had them kids again. Zendaya, that little Zendaya that you got, she turned 18 on Martin Luther King during the day. Don't let her go to the hood. And you ain't gonna be able to stop her. She seen what you did. She seen what you did to her brother. Her brother was over there, didn't have no social skills, didn't know anything, and you bullied him up off of his little boyfriend. That man had to move out, child. Anyway, Pixie just said no comment. You ain't got the lie, Craig. That motherfucker look just like that. Anyways, like the video, subscribe to the channel. That's enough eating them up. It's time for me to talk about something important and relevant and record it at the same time so I can get my clicks and views over there on Facebook while you niggas are struggling to get clicks and views and money on YouTube. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised.
What is in your life's blueprint?
So the case involving Nolan Wells is continuously heating up, and the narratives are flipping in real time. Nolan Wells, a so-called best friend, came out and he refused to show his face simply because I think that he was lying and he didn't want to get caught up in his eyes. And Nolan Wells' parents came out and said they don't even know that person to be claiming that he's best friends with Nolan Wells. And all of these students and all of these young people and people that were at Horn Island on 4th of July, they're not fully cooperating with law enforcement. What they're doing is telling a lot of lies and going along with the narrative in the bird call that Judge Ashley Cole, who is the stepmother of Warren Hudson, put out there for the mainstream media to consume, and they're just going along with that. I actually created a change.org petition that got damn near 1,000 signatures without me even promoting it, because I'm going viral on Facebook, of course, to get Judge Ashley Cole off of the bench. Because as a sitting judge, you cannot make a comment about any active investigation, not even after the trial was over. And I think it would be very racist for Mississippi not to recuse Ashley Cole simply because they actually recused a black judge and banned him for life out of the state of Mississippi from being a judge because he gave a comment on the Kyle Rittenhouse trial after it had concluded. And in this situation, I had reported to the Mississippi Judicial Commissioner that Ashley Cole, a sitting judge, gave up her opinion and painted a narrative for the public and local authorities to consume based upon an active investigation. It would be completely racist for them not to take my complaint serious simply because when it comes to black people, they scrutinize. So there's Carlos Moore. He's popular on the internet and he used to be a judge in Mississippi. 5 hours ago, he posted, Mississippi thought it could silence me by banning me for life from the bench after 6.5 years of faithful service for speaking out after the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict about the lack of a colorblind justice system in America while a sitting judge and while serving as the 79th president of the National Bar Association. I guess they did not know that, like Moses, as referenced in Hebrews 11:24-25, that I would rather suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. I am so happy to have traded in my black robe to now become the people's judge, a man of the people who shoots it to you straight. My goal in life was never about securing the right to continue to wear a black robe in Mississippi, but I am living this life to secure my eternal white robe. To my people, I know I am with you to the end. Justice is within reach and we shall overcome. Hashtag Nolan Wells and so forth. So again, this judge gave a comment after the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict was already over and they disbarred him. So why would they not take my complaint about Ashley Cole giving a comment on an active investigation coming out of Mississippi where she sits as a judge in that particular state? Okay, this black man gave his opinion about Kyle Rittenhouse. That wasn't even the state of Mississippi. And they said, oh, you guys to go. So this is how you spot racism. And when I do a follow-up letter to the Mississippi Judicial Commissioner, I'm going to point out that they got rid of Carlos for stating his opinion post-verdict, while Ashley Cole sent the bird call to paint a narrative and to somewhat solidify a narrative that her son fed her. And so that the district attorney's office, the local law enforcement, they're going to like, wait, this judge said that Warren Hudson stated this, so this must be factual, and we must build a narrative around what this judge said because she gave her opinion prior to a jury indictment. And so people in the neighborhood can easily be influenced, intimidated by this judge and feel like they're selling her out if they say in question the narrative that her stepson, Warren Hudson, put out there. So after Ashley Cole gave her public take on this investigation and public issue, the kids and the other people that was out there at Horn Island decided to go and perpetuate and continue along the line of that same narrative simply because the judge said it. Somebody in power, somebody of influence, So again, my complaint that I sent to the Mississippi Judicial Commissioner about Ashley Cole stating her opinion prior to, while an active investigation is open, it's easy to compare it to the state of Mississippi getting rid of and disbarring Carlos Moore for giving his opinion on a case that was post-verdict and out of the jurisdiction of Mississippi. So if the Mississippi commissioner does not take my complaint against Ashley Cole serious, then I can easily say that it's an issue of racism because look how they treated this black man. And then I can easily say and easily take all of those signatures on change.org and go up the ladder. Mississippi commissioner does not want to say anything. I'm going to go to the Senate. I'm going to go to the mayor. I'm going to go up the chain of command. I'm going to go to the FBI, the Department of Justice, which is in the hands of Donald Trump. And what we can do for a fact is show how they treat the situation in totality when it comes down to holding a white woman that's in a power position accountable compared to how they treated a black man. So it's brilliant what I did. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. There is, I don't know how true or factual these allegations are, but I think this Angelo Rogue backup channel posted that Nolan Wells' body was severely beaten, it was burned, and it was in poor condition when it came in. Now, this woman has basically risked her job about talking about the condition of a body tied to a public incident. But let's listen to her and what she had to say based on her purportedly personal knowledge about Nolan Wells' body and the condition in which it was in. Again, the Jackson County has not released an autopsy report, nor has Benjamin Crump released an autopsy report. Again, this is chess, not checkers, when it comes to calling out systemic racism. I'm pretty sure Benjamin Crump already know the condition of Nolan Wells' body. Trauma to the body is something that's visible and something that can be seen and communicated to the family and communicated to Benjamin Crump ahead of a toxicology report. That's internal. What happened on the outside? So accordingly, Nolan Wells was burnt, beat, pissed on, all of this other stuff. Here you go.
About Nolan Wells today.
So today, we actually know someone that works transporting bodies, human remains, and things like that. So today I got a call from that person, and they were just talking about the body that they
Came across. This was Nolan Wells.
So before knowing all that, he said that the body was mistreated.
Yeah.
It looked abused. It looked like he was tortured. Looked as if he was burnt, maybe.
Where?
Face, body, said he was burnt.
And not only that, his body was mistreated when they transported him.
So as they were transporting him, he was actually face down. So everyone knows when you're transporting a body, when only a couple of people work that job, they all know you don't transport the body face down. That's kind of very disrespectful. So you always have them face up. Well, specifically his body whatever reason was face down, and me personally, I took that as disrespect.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to the family.
Yes, definitely.
Because all we know is what they put out
on the internet.
But today, we actually found out a lot about his autopsy without even reading the autopsy.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
I'm so sorry that family have to go through this. Really, just
want to give our condolences to the family. As a mom or moms,
grandmothers,
dads. Family, period. We give the most prayers to you, and we stand behind you because we know right what really happened.
Right. So,
and at the end of the day, whatever lies those families have covered up, or whatever lies they're trying to cover, we're sorry, and we're here for you, and we just want you to know that what was seen today was unacceptable.
It's unacceptable, and that's why we want to inform. So what's going on during the transport like that?
Isn't something you can be quiet on
at all.
When you've seen something so heartbreaking as a child, go through something traumatic.
Traumatic, yes.
It hurts to know that was done to him in the ways that we can't even express.
Right.
And as a person, you should have some type of humanity.
Right.
And I felt like those people who was transporting him did not have humanity in no way, shape, or form. Because if I can feel the way I feel about the situation, just listening to what happened, you also can listen to what happened to this child.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that is a child that you did that to.
Right.
So this child needs justice.
Justice.
Because
Justice
we're not going to sleep until he gets it.
At all. And I heard the feds are in Mississippi right now. So justice for Nolan Wells.
No matter what.
Our heart goes out to his mom,
His
family, everybody.
And
See what I'm saying? So the body is in a decomposed state. The body is beaten, is burned. And I like within the next 24 hours, I wouldn't be surprised if those women end up creating a GoFundMe, which I would be reluctant to supporting because they gave us the exclusive tea that we're expected to hear from Jackson County Coroner's Office as well as Benjamin Crump. And most importantly, the GoFundMe will be to support them because you're not technically supposed to publicly state what's going on with a body, what's going on with an active investigation from the coroner's office. That information is supposed to be turned over to the authorities who then will inform the family and the public of what happened. That's almost like someone's body is so decomposed to where it requires a closed casket. And the family insists that it's supposed to be an open casket to enrage the public and get people actively involved. Well, in the state of Mississippi, there's active case law out of that state specifically that says that you cannot have an open casket for a body that's severely beaten or burned. So I predict that if this is true what they're saying, Nolan Wells will have a closed casket funeral, especially in the state of Mississippi. They don't want it to be an Emmett Till 2.0 to where there's an open casket to show exactly what happened to this body. And my whole thing is, it doesn't matter how great you are, how much you put into this system of white supremacy. And I like to reference Ketanji Jackson, how they didn't even want to confirm her for the Supreme Court. Despite all her accolades and even the fact that she married a white man, they was like, no, you still know. You still know, okay? That's how they treat us. So it don't matter how much you work hard to keep your nose clean and pay your taxes to be a law-abiding citizen. What did Nolan Wells do to deserve to be severely beaten? They probably aim fireworks at him and use his body as target practice, as a ritualistic sacrifice. And there's one code that white people go by. Don't tell on your other for the benefit of those people over there. And I told you guys, it's been that way since the Colfax Massacre in Louisiana. That was in 1873, I believe. Once Abraham Lincoln was like, hey, I'm going to send all the black Americans to Haiti. And we was like, no, we belong over here. That was the first time black people wanted to set up and establish a Wall Street in 1873. The KKK, which then became the police and bounty hunters, told all white people, even their family, if you help these Negroes establish their own rights and like they have freedoms and equal rights as us, we're going to unalive you, even if you my brother, my sister, my cousin, my child. White people went to war with black people and all their family members that was helping and being like, liberal ideology, they unalived them. And that's where this genetic and generational trauma comes into play, where white people in the South say, don't trust them black people, they're dangerous and they will get you messed up. It's not just because they perceive black people to be dangerous and criminals, but because people that are white in power will look at you and ostracize you and even unalive you for helping black people. I want to put that into perspective. So hypothetically speaking, if this is true and there's, say for instance, hundreds of witnesses that witness what happened to Nolan, all these people are being coerced not to say anything. This is why it's a big problem that Ashley Cole, a sitting judge, a chancellor, went out here and perpetuated and repeated the first narrative about what happened. Ashley Cole is the reason the whole world is looking at this distraction that all these kids that went out there to Horn Island with Nolan was nowhere around, because she sent that message out. TMZ, the Shade Room, all the blogs, all the micro blogs, the black blogs, white, the Daily Mail, everybody republished that coming from a judge. And that judge went ultra viral and went worldwide with her narrative. So just imagine you in Jackson, Mississippi, the Jackson County, and you want to go for a job and lines of credit. You grew up there. You don't know anything. And you got kids that are involved and probably witnessed this or that can go out there and run a play. We seen this happen in Texas in the Carmelo Anthony case, where these kids deliberately went up there on the stand and lied under oath to protect systemic racism, to protect the white supremacy. They don't care about Nolan, just like they didn't care about Carmelo Anthony. What they care about is their social status in that community. Somebody speak out about it. They got to consider how they're going to be ostracized from the community, and they also got to consider what's going to happen to their family. There's a series called Your Honor, and I like to compare that series to an Ashley Cole, to where in that series, the judge's son committed a crime, a heinous crime, and other people got unalived, other people lost careers, other people was ostracized. A whole series is created about exactly what Ashley Cole did. That is to paint a narrative to protect her stepson, and everybody around has to go along with it. And if they don't, they're going to face severe social economic consequences. They're going to be ostracized, and they can even be unalived. So this is the fear that all those people in Mississippi are under. And so when I see interviews that Nolan Wells' parents are giving, and I see Nolan Wells' mother just laughing and stuff, she's even under that system of white supremacy. Didn't the judge coerce and somewhat intimidate Nolan Wells' mother by saying, oh, I know Christine, we grew up in the same neighborhood? That wasn't like, oh, trust me. That was like, oh, I know you. I know everything about you. I know your parents. And if you don't go along with this narrative and my stepson gonna go down, I got you. That's why it's a problem for Ashley Cole to have came out here speaking on behalf of an active investigation in the state of Mississippi, the same state that disbarred a black judge for speaking about the Kyle Rittenhouse case after judgment was rendered. He has no jurisdiction, no power, no influence over the politicians or the law enforcement in another state that Kyle Rittenhouse was in. But he was disbarred from Mississippi. And you want to tell me that I got a frivolous petition and that my complaint about Ashley Cole is not real? Get fucking real. Dani don't do nothing without a purpose and without an actual cause. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Benjamin Crump met with the district attorney's office, who, by the way, has to answer to judges. The district attorney's office, first of all, is the sheriff's department doing an investigation. They got to give all of their evidence to the district attorney's office. And then the district attorney has to go before a judge to figure out if this case should or charges should or should not be filed. Okay, so Ashley Cole is a judge. You don't think she know them other judges in this court system over here that she can call and terminate the investigation? You don't think she eat lunch with the district attorneys and it's a whole big old community of people that she's around that's going to finally determine if her stepson, who has a scholarship to go and play tennis, is going to be held accountable for a crime and go through that legal process? She put her family matters above the law. She put her family matters above substantial due process, and she need to be off the bench. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the $50 super. You the man, Mr. Illegal EEZ. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, this needs to change Mississippi. It really does. And I think things happen for a reason. Carmelo Anthony, and then you got Daniel Irwin that was found that he could swim. They said he drowned, and months later, the investigators are coming back making an arrest. And then you got Nolan Wells simultaneously happen at the same time. And then you got midterms coming up. And so with the FBI going to Mississippi, they know midterms are coming up. Now they want to get involved. And I don't think the FBI from Donald Trump's Department of Justice is doing anything but helping the local authority cover up things. But guess what? Little old me and little old you have the right to challenge any judge from any county in any state if you see them do something in violation of the canons. So I'm not just going out the, Hannah Hancock in Los Angeles Superior Court. This is what it's called to actually challenge systemic racism. Attack systemic racism, not the people, Because when you look at the system at play, you will be able to find out those individuals within the system that are actually racist. You will be able to find out if the judicial commissioner is racist if they don't take my complaint serious. You will be able to find out if the mayor and the Senate and even the FBI is racist if they don't take it serious. And then you have the solid proof there. You got a body of public information that says that these people are not going to do anything to this white woman for interfering with substantial due process. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Benjamin Crump and Nolan Wells' family gave another conference this morning after speaking to the district attorney's office.
Lisa Park, attorney Eric Hertz, Justin Preston, and Cliff Jones. We have the honor of representing the family of Nolan Wells. We have present with us his mother and father, Christine and Elmore. We've just had an opportunity to meet with District Attorney Angel McElgrath and some members of her team. We had a very respectful meeting. The thing I assume some of you may know, the thing to announce, she shared with the family that there will be a grand jury that she will turn this case over to once they have collected all the information and finished their investigation. We also agreed that we will have a mutual inspection of the cell phone with our experts and their experts. Attorney Eric Hertz is helping lead the investigation team with former law enforcement experts who are going to help us with the cell phone download. So everybody will be able to see at the same time.
Exactly. And I heard a complaint that Benjamin Crump has not turned over Nolan Wells' cell phone to law enforcement. That was one of the best things that the parents could have done, was to get Nolan Wells' cell phone and property from those criminals before, they can give it to the police, because the police are going, oh yeah, we didn't find anything. No, there's software that can go in and see exactly what messages were deleted, as long as it's accomplished within a time frame, a window. And I think it's 30 days. You can actually see what exactly was said, the text message that was deleted. And we've seen that in the Jarvis Butt trial, to where, Naziah had messages that she deleted off of a text now number with Jarvis, and they was able to pull it up. So everybody's going to be able to see all other communication in Nolan Wells' phone. And that communication is critical and crucial for this investigation. And once we see that Nolan had communication with Warren, and there was, some disdainment and some threats or something that alluded that Warren was a part of it, Ashley Cole is definitely going to get disbarred. And I led that charge. I'm seeing information about people saying today that the DA is supposed to do her job, but Ashley Cole made a statement. Well, I published that 3-4 days ago, and I started to change that org petition. This is why I go viral. I lead the charge on these conversations, these public conversations. I'm thinking ahead of the general public. I'm thinking ahead of some of the brightest minds out there, so that makes me bright.
What the cell phone has. We also talked about trying to make sure we dot every I and cross every T. I know that we're getting about 50 calls a day to 100 calls a day from people who were there on Horn Island, people who are familiar with individuals that were there on Horn Island. And so we continue to be steadfast in trying to get to the truth of why Nolan Wells is dead. At this time, we'll have Attorney Hertz say a few words, and then Christine and Elmore will just talk about the homegoing services and celebration for Nolan, and then we'll take a few of your questions. Attorney Eric Hertz.
Thank you. Right now, there's a lot of unanswered questions. We appreciate the district attorney meeting with us, but because of certain types of confidentiality that even the victims are not allowed to know, we did not get all the answers we want. We have an independent investigation going on that involves former law enforcement federal agents that are going to be looking into all the different information we got. The calls are coming in and we're getting a lot of information. Some of the people that I spoke to are not talking with law enforcement here. We're going to be trying to get them to cooperate with each other because we want to make sure the narrative, which has been put out that is false, is going to be corrected. So at this point, we just ask everybody to keep calling in if you have any information and let us know. And I personally, if we validate you're a legitimate call, we'll call you and talk to you. And I thank you all for showing up today.
And now, Christine and Elmore will just share with you some details of the homegoing celebration for their son.
Hello, everyone. So, the homegoing celebration, the funeral will be held at Centerpoint Church in Ocean Springs. It is going to be, visitation will be 9 to 11, and then the funeral will start after that. The plan is for the repast because, again, we want to celebrate Nolan. And he would not want us to be sitting around crying and eating. And so what we're going to do is kind of have a party to celebrate him, and that'll be held at—
I feel so bad. It ain't hit her. And I'm going to tell you why it hasn't hit her, because she's shielded and protected by Benjamin Crump, by an active investigation, like this, like people grieve differently, and it has not hit this lady at all. At all. And it probably don't hit her until after the headlines and shit disappear. After everybody has moved on to the next case or whatever, it hasn't hit her at all. Maybe it's going to hit her at the church or whatever. I don't know. I just know it hasn't hit her. Okay, she got a lot of energy, a lot of attention, and a lot of people advocating. So she's shielded by our public outrage about this situation. And I would never want no parent to go through this. Like, dead ass. You know, my mom went through this 3 times and she's like totally fucking numb now. I don't even recognize my mom. My mom don't even look the same anymore.
The Jackson County Fairgrounds. So we really do want to keep it for family and friends. We are going to allow media to come in as well. And lastly, his
teammates.
Oh, absolutely. Teammates. We've already contacted Coach Les George because we want to make sure that those guys are there. Former teammates from high school, middle school, teams that he played against. You guys are all welcome. But of course, you know, we want to make sure that our families for sure and close friends get there. So I do want to just say, for those of you, again, if you are having protests, even the day of his service, I am asking you guys to just keep it peaceful. Nolan would never want any type of violence or anything like that. He was not that kind of person. So if you guys would, again, just be peaceful. And to the community, thank you so much. Just the outpouring of love, support. We've had some local officials, Mayor Casey Vaughn from Gaucher has reached out to us. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. He has, it's almost been every day. He's been texting.
And I'm so glad that the mayor has been reaching out and texting and everything. So, you know, I'm definitely going to highlight on this day that Nolan Wells' mother, Christina, said that the mayor has been actively texting and communicating with her, pouring sympathy and empathy. So when I start writing him and showing all the thousands of people signed for Ashley Cole to get off the bench, we're going to see if you really are sincere about your empathy and about actually, you know, leading charge in an active investigation, or are you just scared that Benjamin Crump is here and you don't want the nation to look at Mississippi, so you're trying to butter up the mother to act like you're not racist and act like you really care about substantial due process. We're going to test out that mayor too. So I'm glad Christina has pointed out that she's in contact with him, because I'm going to be in contact with him too, about Ashley Cole and her getting up out of her road.
To check on us. Also, Jeffrey Hullum, thank you so much. He's been texting pretty much every day, receiving a lot of stories from Nolan's teachers, which just warms my heart, his classmates, teammates. So again, for those of you who have donated to the GoFundMe, once again, I stress, if you are not financially able to, we're not begging for that money, okay? If you're not financially able to, we understand. We thank you for whatever you can give, but if you cannot, if you would, just keep us in your prayers. And to his friends, stay strong, and please just take care of your mental health, because I know this is a lot. It's a lot for us, and I know you guys are feeling some of that too. So thank you all.
Thank you. I think she did. Okay. Are there any questions? Yes.
Attorney Crump, Skylar Henry here with CBS News. The last time that you spoke in a setting like this, I know you guys were hoping to get results back from an independent autopsy. I know you mentioned that Nolan had been sent to Washington, D.C. Is there anything to share on that front?
Not at this time, but we hope soon, very soon. Obviously, we're concentrating on the funeral services, but hopefully shortly thereafter, we will be able to tell some findings.
And I can tell that Benjamin Crump, he already know what's going on and what happened to the body. And he's doing the right thing, because if he released that information right now before Nolan is put in the ground, the mother could lose her mind. The father could lose his shit. The father already went charged and wanted to beat up the other people that didn't want to give up Nolan's property. So I absolutely know that Benjamin Crump already know. He's taking this in stride. Okay, Benjamin Crump might be an ambulance chaser, but he knows what he's doing. He's not going to continue to represent and be the face of a family dealing with a tragedy without there being substantial cause. Now, Al Sharpton, that's a different story. I bet you $1,000 that Benjamin Crump know what we just found out, that body was severely burned and beat up. Why would he release that right now? That lady will break down and lose her shit. That man right there will go back over there and go to jail. So he's being responsible, and I can appreciate that about him.
Of the preliminary autopsy, still waiting on some things. And I also, while we're talking about funeral services, want to thank Mr. Tyler Perry for paying for the funeral.
Absolutely.
Another
well
ambulance
as,
chaser.
Colin Kaepernick for helping to shoulder the expense of the independent autopsy.
Shout out to him.
I thank Reverend Al for agreeing to officiate the funeral service.
Ciao.
Yes, sir.
Aaron Gilchrist with NBC News. Mr. and Mrs. Wansley, you said from the very beginning that for you, this was really about getting some answers about what happened to your son. Do you feel like after your meeting today, you have any more clarity on what happened?
Well, it was just a meeting where she talked about the process. She didn't tell us any information about the investigation too much, because those things...
Someone asked in the chat, how do I know it was burned? Well, that's upon information and belief. Earlier in this video, I had showed a mother and a daughter who came out and talked about actually witnessing the condition of Nolan Wells' body, and said that they had him on his face, flipped over, more than likely to hide the burns and hide the severity of his injuries and the burns and the marks and stuff that people would see. So if that is true, then I'm pretty sure this is going to be a closed casket. If that is true, I'm not entirely sure when Christina and her husband identified Nolan's body, was they able to actually see this? Not entirely sure. So that's upon information and belief and to be determined. We still have not received the autopsy from Jackson County, Mississippi, and Benjamin Crump has not released any information about the second autopsy.
As she said, her role and what she has to do, but they still have questions, and that's not insignificant to this meeting. It's just in general. Every morning they wake up and there's a hole in their heart.
Yeah.
And they are trying to say, what happened to my son? Obviously, they feel strongly that he would not have just stayed behind. He wouldn't have left his cell phone. And so we're trying to get to those answers.
Jerry Crump, Brian Rose, GC Wire. There's been a lot of misinformation that's been spread online, especially the pool picture that was shared by you, and you had said that...
Well, I didn't share it, I reposted it. We're reposting everything. Let's make it clear. We're reposting everything because we're trying to get people to come in and call. And so we've said from the beginning, we're in a ferocious search for the truth. And so things out there, we are trying to post, ask people, do you know something about this? Let us know. Just because we repost does not mean that we authenticate anything. Look at our social media. We have always been very careful to say this is a repost, and we almost always give a declaration that that's what it is, a repost. And so we want people to continue to call about everything, videos, whatever interactions they saw, and thank God we are getting dozens of people calling every day saying, I was on Horn Island. This is what I saw. I know these individuals. This is what we know. They said, we understand the sheriff's investigation has hundreds of people calling too. And so the hope is that when this is presented to the grand jury, all relevant witnesses and evidence will be presented to them so that we can have a fair and impartial investigation into the death of Nolan Wells. We were very honest and candid.
And again, just imagine if this fair and impartial investigation concludes that Warren Hudson lied while his mother, sitting judge, came out here and perpetuated his story and his narrative to the general public. You need to get out that road.
With the district attorney, she was honest and candid with us. Our lived experiences tell us that we must question everything, everybody's role, law enforcement role. That is the lived experience of us as black people in America.
Yeah.
And we will be not honoring the ancestors' sacrifices for us if we did not be honest
about
every
that.
chance we got
Yeah.
when we talk to power. Yes, sir.
Eric mentioned the false narrative out there. Well, I've seen quite a few of those, so I was wondering if you could tell us which false narrative you're talking about so we can let people know it's not true. Was there a particular false narrative you were
There's a
referring
lot
to?
of narratives out there right now, and
There's a lot of narratives we're going to try to investigate all of that.
there's a lot of narratives out there right now. I'm not going to comment on any particular one, but whenever a case this big gets in the
And also, there's a narrative, according to social media, and somebody commented in the chat that Nolan had to be identified by dental records. I would like to think that if that was the actual truth, then that's something that would probably have already been confirmed by Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton, or even a family who I believe identified the body after they pulled it out of the water. But to each his own, we'll figure out as this continues to develop. I don't trust this guy right here. I don't. I don't trust these people right here. I really don't. I'm sorry. Something sinister and shiesty about him receiving the phone calls about what happened on Horns Island, being able to filter that communication through the Benjamin Crump office and stuff. I feel like if there was important, key, critical, beyond a reasonable doubt information being delivered to Benjamin Crump's office, I don't think he would provide that to the other lawyers in Benjamin Crump's office. We have all seen, people infiltrate us. We even seen that certain people in certain communities led Martin Luther King Jr. to do things, and he thought it was in support of him. About the end of his life, he realized that he was being sold out by people that don't look like us and that don't really have the same cause as us. The whole time, while you think you're being supported for doing what you want to do and uplifted for that, these other people sometimes have their own agenda tied to their whole MO of why they are dealing with you. I personally don't trust this man. I really don't. There's something sinister and shisty about him. And the guy sitting back with the orange tie, I can't say the same thing. He gives me a different vibe, but something about this guy speaking is not to be trusted. And I think we will be revisiting that at a later date.
People try for whatever motivations, law enforcement or whoever, people that call in, try to set up a narrative so that people will follow the narrative. Our job is to cut through all the noise and find the truth. And the truth needs to be found by unbiased investigation, as well as unbiased lawyers and all the people that are out here, all you investigatory journalists and everyone else. We just ask that you keep an open mind until we get to the truth.
And one of the things I will say, we are trying desperately to figure it out. And we don't profess to have all the answers, but boy, we're trying. And so when people call and tell us this is this person, and then we get somebody saying that, no, this isn't that person, we're trying to balance it all. So we want to even be more careful ourselves to make certain that we're trying to get people to come forward. And there are a lot of people who have different perspectives. We're getting that just from the phone calls, that people who were there at the same time are saying different things. But we're going to get there. We're going to get to the truth. Yes.
And also, I want to address something in the comments that I see. Shout out to Jessica Bush. Thank you for the $9.99 super. She said that, why are people online saying that's not Nolan real dad? Did you hear that? It doesn't matter. You know, as somebody who grew up with a stepfather who, you know, did not accept us and try to divide me from my mother and my other siblings and shit like that, I can appreciate a man that comes into the picture and step up, or another man drop the ball for whatever reason. And my father didn't drop the ball. My mother has been married 3 times, and it's because she outlived 2 of her husbands, and she's been with the same man for 30 years who we've all had an issue with, and never played that stepfather game because he's an asshole and he did not want to take on the responsibility. So my lived experience, and I guess somewhat trauma dealing with the stepfather, I can actually appreciate this man having a passion about his wife's child. He married her. That means that he took on full responsibility for that child. And I will compare this situation to the likeness of, you know, Sierra getting with Russell Wilson and Future's son with Sierra calling Russell father, even though he know that it's not his biological father. But you married that woman. You took on that responsibility. I think he needs to be celebrated for that and not tore down. So it really does not matter if that's his biological child or not. That's his child through marriage. And I like to see him and know that he treated Nolan no different than he treat his actual biological kids with her. So I'm not finna get into that. That's no, I'm good.
To you, Christine and Elmore. My heart hurts. I'm Brady McGill, WLOX here at home. But I want to go on and ask you, Attorney Bancroft, you say that you were talking about the process in there with the DA. Were any affidavits or possible prosecutions or criminal actions presented to her to be signed eventually? Or do we know anything right now?
And as she says, her role is confidential at this point, but so she can maintain her prosecutorial independence. Obviously, I stressed to her very strenuously.
I want to see if she's tied to Judge Ashley Cole. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do some research to figure out who she is, figure out if she got a 3rd-degree connection to Ashley Cole, where she went to school at, who her father is, and all of this chain of command. Because again, Ashley Cole is not going to let her stepson go down, because just like this stepfather, he's advocating for Nolan because he married this woman. Okay, Ashley Cole and Christina are in the same situation, but opposite. They have something to protect and defend, and that is family first. But as a sitting judge, you cannot do that.
We want you to zealously, you and the Sheriff's Department, to zealously investigate this matter. And Christine and Elmore share their life experiences too. Mm-hmm. We know through our lived experiences, our life experiences, that And she said that's not how our office operates. But we know in America, in the South, certain people are investigated differently. And we shared that with her. We didn't, ask that she understand our perspective, but we said we should mutually try to understand each other's perspectives, where we're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And we agreed that we will try to do that.
Where are we at in the investigation and autopsy? We're supposed to get it back Friday?
Well, no, we like we said, we're waiting, let the doctors do what they do. They ain't got their autopsy back neither, so we're trying to get it right.
Okay.
And then when we get it, we're going to share it. Yes, ma'am.
On Friday in the press conference, you said that you hear on the video Nolan saying,
Yes.
my freaking phone, what are you freaking doing?
That's what a witness told us, and that's what we reported out. Then another witness had come forward and said, no, that was his voice. We have other witnesses who said there were other altercations. So, as Mr. Hurt said,
Wow.
we're trying to go through it all.
And I don't believe that that so-called best friend, I don't believe that it was his voice. He didn't think that through. If Benjamin Crump is sitting with the family and the family is on Good Morning America and they are conceding and reporting that that was Nolan's voice, they know Nolan's voice. Come on, they been in the house with Nolan for 18 years. Like my mother can be asleep. She know her children's voice, let alone the voice of your child versus the voice of a complete stranger. That guy was lying. He's going along with the narrative that Ashley Cole perpetuated, and we have seen not even a month ago that these kids will lie and work with law enforcement just to conceal heinous acts done to black boys.
So forth. And we'll be even more careful to say this is what a witness told us in the future.
And so your team hasn't been able to look fully into that and confirm whether it was or was not Nolan that said
No,
that?
we have audio people doing it, but we know certain people said it was him, and then certain people said it was not him.
Are you worried about the
See, this is where me as a reporter, if I was there, I would have been like, well, Christina, can you confirm or deny if that was Nolan's voice? Because you know his voice. Did it sound like him? Because when I listen to the audio and then when I hear the so-called best friend call in and do an interview, that doesn't, the voice is not matching. So I personally would have been, okay, boom. That's why you got to think critically, because just asking that question to Christina specifically and having her to confirm or deny it totally changes the narrative and further perpetuates the reality that Ashley Cole put out a bird call, and these kids, well, young adults are going along with that narrative, and they have something to protect, which is their family and their own social standing within these networks and groups. I mean, it's Mississippi. And this is a biracial kid. He don't fit in with black people. He don't fit in with white people. He want to be white. He's the butt end of the joke, because no matter how much he suck ass of these white people, that the so-called best friend, they still gonna look at him like, let's be crystal clear about that.
threats and the
Well,
violent kind of atmosphere on social media and how these fake videos and photos can play into
oh
that?
my God, I saw a fake
Even
video.
Nolan's friends getting death threats.
We don't want anybody's life to be in harm's way just because we're trying to get to the truth of what happened to Christine and Elmore's son. We saw fake videos about AI-generated videos of Christine, and it's just god-awful as they're grieving and trying to fight for the truth.
Right.
That they are also having to deal with these fake videos attacking them as they are just trying to literally bury their son next week.
Yeah.
But we want everybody to say that we can go through this journey together for the truth. And even though we may have different viewpoints, we can all agree that everybody wants the truth. And
Right.
nobody, life should be threatened for seeking the truth. Nobody should be, presumed accountable until we have evidence. His mother and father only want, and Christine has said it multiple times, she only wants what you would want. Wouldn't you want desperately to get to the truth? Wouldn't you want people who were closest in proximity to what happened to be investigated and thoroughly investigated? We know that, you know, if it was Nolan, how would he be investigated? So, one last question.
Right.
I'm just curious about the dynamic that you guys have had, Christine and Elmore, with law enforcement up until this point. Have you all been able to speak with the sheriff, any of the lead investigators, since what happened last week?
So that was actually clarified in today's meeting. The DA's office wanted to take over that communications because they do have a victim advocate, which I appreciate, but of course that wasn't what she, took responsibility and accountability for. But we were not communicated with that information. So
See?
for us,
Foul play.
like I said before, the last time we actually spoke to someone with the Sheriff's Department was last Tuesday. That was via text message that I initiated, just asking for an update. So that's the biggest thing is, I appreciate that she took accountability for saying, hey, that was actually our doing. But, we have a setup now, and so the hope is that we'll have that open lines of communication.
So you feel like this was and Attorney Hertz has a comment on that there.
Let me just say that under the law in Mississippi...
Give me 1 second. You see how, I'm telling you, like, you got to pay very close attention to these people, these racist people that infiltrate black organizations and sit up there and act like they're allies. You see how Christina was talking about the DA not providing information and not following through protocol, withholding information. It raises reasonable suspicion that this DA has been influenced by Ashley Cole directly because of her Facebook post at the very least, or maybe even in person in a line of communication and friendships. And now all of a sudden he's going to step out here. I want to be interested to hear what type of excuse he's going to give for the Jackson DA office for not communicating with the family and not fully doing their job to the best of their ability. Because as Benjamin Crump just stated, if this was a situation where Nolan Wells was a possible suspect, he will be guilty without even a trial, just based by the color of his skin. So let's see what he has to say.
Victim is entitled within, I think it's 72 hours to get an incident report and to have certain information shared. It's been more than 72 hours, and that's part of the meeting here today to start getting the incident report and all that information that we came here to collect, as well as listen to the district attorney and what she had to say.
Yeah, that's because Ashley Cole put a bird call out within the first 72 hours that the district attorney has to go along with. Because if the district attorney finds something to be different and report that to the family, that will make Ashley Cole look like a liar. And you're not one of us. You're not down with the higher cause. You're not in a line with what the judicial authority is telling you. You're a DA. You work for the county. You work underneath judges, and I'm a judge, and this is what I said. So that district attorney might actually know something that conflicts with Ashley Cole, and if she communicate that to the family, then it's a disruption of the power structure locally. And this is why I believe it's important for the FBI to be out there. If they themselves ain't cooperating and going along with this local power structure, because Donald Trump is in charge with them. We ain't see him speak about none of this. And if he did, we know that bitch would be up 3-4 o'clock in the morning talking shit about black people.
No, not yet. We are working with them to say there need to be better communications with the clients and so forth. So the big things that we know, there's going to be a grand jury into the death of Nolan Wells. And number two, that we're going to have
That's already tainted.
A mutual inspection of Nolan's cell phone. We just want to make sure everybody else's cell phone is also being downloaded. Thank you.
Yeah.
As far as when are the home
Monday and 11 days.
Yeah, a mutual cell phone scrub across the board. I mean, you can try to scrub Nolan's cell phone. They have possession of that. They're going to be able to bring up reports and messages between Nolan and Warren, and Nolan and this other alleged best friends and people that he was with. You can't fake this data. So does the local authorities, the DA, do they want to get to these cell phones and tell the truth? Because Nolan's cell phone is going to tell the truth. And it's just going to expose the corruption in the conspiracy that's going on locally. Someone also said it was already reported that the boat was at Judge Ashley Cole's house and they were seen scrubbing it clean at 3 a.m. Can you do me a favor, Shanice? And anybody, if you guys wanted to send me any updates, this is the phone number to do so. You guys can text me or email me. Text me at 818-856-4637. I need that information so that I can add that to a follow-up report with the Judicial Commissioner. Because when you report a judge, they take the initial complaint, then they send you this 2-3 page legal jargon about how they do investigations and if they find or what they file. And in that window of them doing their investigation, I can then send a supplemental follow-up. And so I would have the original complaint, I would have the supplemental follow-up. And regardless of what the Judicial Commissioner would do or say, I then would have the ability and the opportunity to go in and negotiate substantial justice based upon my change.org petition. You guys asked for the link. I'm about to copy it and put it in the chat. So far, the change.org petition that I created about Ashley Cole's misappropriation of the judiciary has received 855 signatures organically just by me posting and raising reasonable concerns on Facebook. And you guys know that I'm always ahead of the general public. So this petition is going to continue to gain viral attraction. I've seen a couple of YouTubers point it out and so forth. People are going to continue to talk about this petition as this week and next week go on. This petition is going to become more and more relevant as time goes on. So definitely sign it, share it with your family, share it with your friends. Again, I'm glad that Christina has spoken out and said that she has been in contact with the governor of Mississippi, Tate Reeves, because when I made this petition, I knew exactly who to go to. And I'm glad and so thankful that now I got timestamp evidence where Christina said that she's in direct contact with Tate Reeves. And the U.S. Senate, Cindy Hyde Smith, Roger Wicker, and Letitia Jackson, even though she's in a different district, she's still in Mississippi, and she should use her platform to get involved, especially given the fact that she's probably one of the last black representatives, as well as Bernie Thomas, who's one of the last representatives in these southern states after the Supreme Court overturned the Voters' Right Act, specifically Section 2 about these districts. So wherever Letitia is at, wherever Benny is at, they're going to break that apart to make sure all the black people split up and split the black vote to make sure nobody else's black is in a position. So this is their final opportunity to actually make a substantial change to the state of Mississippi. And I'm pretty sure they know that. They want to be on the good side and the right side of history, black history that is, that they're trying to erase, then they need to pay attention. So I'm going to be reaching out to these people once I gain at least 2,000 signatures, which I believe is going to be happening within the next 72 hours. And or I'm just going to, go along with what's being released with this grand jury. For instance, if all of a sudden this grand jury indictment comes back and they don't want to do it, and then we get the text messages, we get the real autopsy to prove that there was foul play, and they still don't want to do anything about it, that's when I will pull the trigger and go ahead and contact these people. These are the people to get in contact with. The head of Mississippi, Tate Reeves. I'm glad that he has been in touch with Christina, and I'm going to let Christina know as well. So let's go to Facebook and see if there's any other updates before we get up out of here. Nolan Wells, DA, because I did, shout out to Jessica Bush. She sent me something involving the DA and how other people are questioning the DA. And again, I'm always ahead of the time. They just did an interview coming out of the district attorney's office. More and more people are going to wake up and be like, wait a minute, they're coming out of the district attorney's office. The district attorney is not giving them any information. Why is that? Oh, it's because that judge put out the bird call. So again, my change.org petition is going to become more and more relevant as this investigation continues. I am very much always ahead of time, always been ahead of my time. I've always been that way. You know, I told you guys I was in gifted classes at early ages. I've always been ahead of time. 58 minutes ago, while we was live, Nina Johnson, who has a blue check mark, and I'm going to follow her. She said, so if this was truly suspected to be an accident only, why is the DA now working with the family? RIP Nolan. RIP Nolan Wells. Is the DA really working with the family? She ain't giving them up no information. She's just doing what she has to do and is obligated to do, which is to conduct an investigation. But I do believe there's a lot of pretend going on with her. So see, even WLOX TV, Nolan Wells death investigation, DA to meet with the family for first time. And so this is what the public is looking at, and everybody is going to be on the same page as me coming up here soon. So nobody can ever question whether or not I know the law, whether or not I know what I'm talking about, because I'm always ahead of the program. So anybody want to take me to court and want to question what I know is going to be the end result of a court case, this right here is a clear indication that I have a great mind, and I'm always ahead, and I'm always thinking ahead.
Attorney Ben Crump held a press conference today with Nolan Wells' parents, where he said that Nolan Wells' cell phone will undertake a mutual inspection by authorities and independent experts, as suspicions were raised as a result of content that may have been deleted from his phone. Police have said that nothing indicates foul play, but we know that Nolan Wells' family are conducting their own independent investigation.
As they should.
Nolan Wells' parents and attorney Ben Crump met with the DA earlier today. And Crump said in his press conference there will be a grand jury that she will turn this case over to once they have collected all the information and finished their investigation, and this was after the meeting took place. Crump also said that former law enforcement experts will help with the cell phone download so that everyone will be able to see at the same time what is in the phone. And if you remember, his mother said that when she finally received the phone belonging to Nolan Wells, his Snapchat account was completely empty. Mind you, he has 2 accounts, no video.
Yeah, so she's just repeating what we already know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, your boy is, and I am going to toot my own horn, I definitely have always been and will always be ahead of bullshit narratives, especially when it comes to law and anything that requires a logical sound thought pattern. So let me go here. And if you guys are looking for my Facebook, it's facebook.com/DenotPOV. I'm going to drop this in the chat right here so you guys can take a look at it. And as you guys can see, dealing with the Carmelo Anthony case and everything that I said ahead of the public resulted in 1 million+ real views, post views, and monetization of my Facebook account. So shout out to Facebook for monetizing me. So regardless of what numbers I get on YouTube, I'm still making money from my political advocacy.
All right, so we want to talk about...
And the thing about it is, it's not really about the money. It's because I have a passion for these public issues. This woman is and this is me putting out the actual complaint that I filed against Judge Ashley Cole on July the 13th, which was 2 days ago, and how she needs to be disbarred. And again, 2 days ago, maybe by the time tomorrow, everybody else is going to continue to expand the Change.org petition. And this video is going to Carmelo Anthony views. This was a Carmelo Anthony update. I don't know what I posted here. I probably posted somebody else's content. And then on July the 12th, this is when I started the petition. In this particular post involving, you know, the actual petition against Judge Ashley Cole. Let me see the insights of this. Oh, give me 1 second. I want to show y'all how much money I done made off of this. It ain't none of your business, because again, this is not really about the money. It's really about political advocacy, and I get high. I get a high off of being right and being ahead of people. So 85,884 views off of this post alone with the petition. This is why this petition has almost 1,000 signatures. Anybody that's on the fence about signing this petition now has a reason to inquire about the petition, simply because the DA, the district attorney's office, is not fully compliant with the family, and people are going to be asking why. Now, I can sit up here. Let me figure out who the district attorney is of Jackson County, DA of Jackson County, Mississippi. Let's see who this person is. Office of the District Attorney. Again, this is all public record. Look, Angela Myers, this woman right here. Come on. Come on. You know, oh, hey, girl, Ashley, how are you doing? She's going to go along with the same narrative that Ashley has been going along with. And this is why, you know, there's not going to be any substantial due process. Even with the grand jury indictment, Benjamin Crump can't go in front of the grand jury to provide evidence and information. I've seen DAs fumble cases involving black people. We've seen that in South Carolina where black DAs and black investigators and police officers went up and went against Cyrus over in the case where Mr. Child ran behind him longer than the football field and shot him and got off on self-defense because they fumbled that case right before the nation's eyes. And by the time I seen it, it was already a verdict reached. And Al Sharpton and them stood in front of that, and I called and I left a message to Al Sharpton and them, and they did not take my advice or even inquire about any of it. So the district attorney is going to be fully in charge of bringing charges against these white, you know, people that are involved with Nolan Wells' unalivement. I feel like even if the district attorney in the grand jury indict them so that they can get arrested, still at trial, the district attorney might actually fumble the case. And this is why it's important for people like me that have a great mind and understand legal jargon to go in and be able to communicate and tell in real time whether or not this family is being sold out by the district attorney. So I'm telling y'all right now, I'm going to go to this trial. I'm telling you, I don't know if this trial probably don't happen for another year and a half. Just like with the Mahogany Jackson trial, I'm going to go to that trial. I'm going to go to this trial if they don't have cameras in the courthouse, okay? If they decide to televise this trial, which I think Benjamin Crump will probably fight for them to do so, then there's no reason for me to go. But if they don't want this trial to be televised, because I do suspect there's going to be arrests made. And all those people who made public statements lying, they should have been, according to what Al Sharpton said, and what's right is they should have been deposed. While you out here speaking, even the so-called best friend of Nolan Wells that spoke publicly and said, this is my truth and I'm not going to be conducting any more interviews. That sounds to me like Ashley Cole, the same one who had the boat at her house scrubbing it, told him to do that interview and told him what to say, rather through his parents or directly. And he pulled the same trick. I'm going to get out here. I'm going to say something to gaslight the narrative. And then I'm going to fall back saying that and blaming it on mental health and blaming it on privacy and so forth. Get up out of here. So again, Nolan's mother, and I don't know what, okay, Nolan Wells was an Ario. What does it have to do with anything? Why are some of you acting like y'all don't know what that is, and that is abnormal to black people for hanging around all white people or only dating white? There's nothing new, nor does there have to be anything sinister behind it. This is the community he was raised in. Obviously, black people are allowed to marry white people, date white people, live around white people, work with white people, and be friends with white people if they choose to. Some of us aren't anti-white or anti-black. We just want to live peaceful and judge people as individuals instead of jumping to conclusions based on racial biases. At some point, we all have to stop looking for enemies everywhere and start looking in the mirror. That's the only place for us to have control over. So, I don't know why his dating preference is relevant to what actually happened to him. He's no longer here. He can't pork her anymore. He can't be in an intimate relationship with her anymore. And from the looks of it, she already probably moved on. Just like Austin Hunter took his Austin Metcalf girlfriend and stayed the night and smashed every night when he died. So these niggas don't give a fuck. And this is Nolan and somebody else. And I can honestly see why Christina is making an issue and saying, well, not making an issue of race and not ruling it out or not confirming it, because she knows the racial makeup and the demographic of her son dating life in the community in which she come from. She went to school with Ashley Cole, who's a sitting judge, that said that just to intimidate her. Okay, so yeah, Nolan Wells' death investigation to be turned over to the grand jury, according to Crump. And this guy right here is a sellout. Okay, he's just like Eddie in the Carmelo Anthony situation. He want to be invited to all the parties with all the white people because at the end of the day, you still a Negro to them, and you would definitely sell out another brother to be tokenized. You want to be invited to the cookouts and eat the lobsters and the steak, and you want them to teach you how to snorkel, to catch it on your own, and all this other shit. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel. That is it for the update with Nolan Wells. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I greatly appreciate you guys, and thank you guys so much for the love and the support. Thank you guys for understanding me. Thank you guys for like understanding the way that I think and the way that I process information. It's greatly appreciated. Also, I want to make a point to point out that Dani Robertson's name is at the front of this video because she claimed to be a truth teller and claimed that don't nobody have any substance or capability of telling the truth or covering laws, case law, just like her. The same way I broke this situation down and is ahead of the gun is the same way that I broke your own case down and ahead of the gun. Okay, ma'am? Thank you, Avengers, for tuning in. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Bye.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised.
What is in your life's blueprint?